Oi there everyone! This is FatesFanboy speaking, and welcome back to Inazuma 11 GO Strikers, episode 7, and we have a lot to process. We have a lot to catch up on, because in this past week I finally caught up to my promise, and I actually did some grinding. I have over 1,000 points now, which should be sufficient to keep fulfilling requests for this episode and most likely for the next episode as well. So that is one hurdle out of the way. And I should note, while I was grinding, some of our team members actually leveled up the little blue bars with the diamonds. And most notably, well, I don't want to say most notably, but I'm kind of biased, Rusty actually got a new move as a result. Now, Rusty wasn't the only one, but the noteworthy thing about Rusty is that instead of a level 1 defensive move, he now has a level 2 defensive move, increasing his usability by that much. And as you can see, he now has the 1 diamond filled up, the little icon next to the blue bar, and his stats have also increased considerably. Now, if you recall, before he had, I believe, C kick and D and everything else, well, everything has now been bumped up 1 level. And he actually, you know what, he actually has decent kick. I was acting surprised about him scoring with Hat Bazooka, but seeing his B kick, it doesn't surprise me at all, actually. Now, who else got these moves? I'm trying to recall. I think Steve actually leveled up, our favorite. Yes, he had D across the board before, and now he has C in everything. Sadly, Steve doesn't get any new moves, if memory serves. I might be incorrect about that, but for the time being, he's still rocking with Rolling Kick. But that is perfectly fine. We can work with that for a while longer. Now, there was someone else, but I don't fully recall who it was again. Let me just... Yeah, Soundtown. So my intuition was correct. Right. So, this is much more impressive than C across the board. This makes him so much more effective, having B in everything except guard, which stings a little bit, because he does serve as well as a kind of defensive midfielder. But for the time being, this is a very solid stat line that we can definitely keep on the team for a while longer, and that will serve us really well. Now, having said that, I believe it is about time we move on to the actual recruitments, as is customary by this point. Now, there haven't been too much new recommendations, which is good, because that means that I can, well, it's good and it's not good, but in this case it's good because I can catch up on some past recommendations that I haven't been able to fulfill just yet. And one of those has been a long while coming. Someone has been very adamantly pressing for me to recruit Paul Peabody. I was kind of hesitant at first, because Peabody, I didn't entirely know what his role was again, but then I noticed he actually has keeper moves, and they're kind of crazy. I believe, if my memory isn't incorrect, he has True Magic the Hand, he has Tamashi the Hand, so Soul Hand, and then he has, yeah, Magic the Hand and God Hand, I believe, which is actually an incredibly solid moveset as a spare defender on our team, as we now have JP, who he practically does the same. He technically has access to his spirit later down the line, but we're not going to keep using him, obviously, since we are replacing everyone for characters that we actually want to see. So, without further ado, this one goes out to Malgesto Al. Finally, Peabody is on the team. You've got your wish, friend. Alright, so here we go. We've actually already taken out JP, I now see. So that means we have 1 of 3 options left, and I believe since Peabody is technically a defender, we'll take out Ator, eye for an eye. Alright, now the moment of truth. As I said in the last episode, we don't actually have enough space to keep accommodating for every recommendation. So that means we will have to start switching out some characters, and I asked you in the last episode who you wanted to see switched out. Now, there was one opinion from Yoshi124 who would like to switch out Jim for Icer, and so that is exactly what we will do, considering there aren't any other options given. As sad as I am to see Jim go, or, well, not go, but occupy the bench, it's probably for the best. The second switch out will probably have to be Peabody, as I prefaced before. Now, he is a wind keeper, but ironically he has no wind moves. But that is fine, I believe. I think I will keep Soul Hand, since True Magic in the hand, well, just to switch it up elements-wise. And I think that this should then be the formation we'll be rocking out with. And looking at the formation now, I recall getting a comment about Nathan here, who I've been ragging on a tiny bit, I'll admit it. So, the one who requested him, Guildmaster Wigglytuff, if memory serves, actually told me that Nathan gets Air Bullet in this game, which considerably changes matters, which would drastically improve his usability, but that will require some investment. And for regular Nathan, I doubt I will have the patience, or, well, really the wiggle room to achieve that. But if we can, I suppose I shall try to get Air Bullet on Nathan if he gets enough screen time, if he gets enough playtime. Then I might consider actually keeping him as a defender. Then one more thing I discovered recently is that there's actually a whole separate menu to adjust various aspects of your team, I suppose, like your kit and your emblem and also your name as it happens. I think the first one is actually changing our name. And for that, I have something special. I did install a tiny mod, let's call it, courtesy of one of my friends. I actually have the regular alphabet. Now, when I say regular, obviously from a European perspective, but this means that we can actually have a legible team name, finally. And I believe in the spirit of this series, there's really only one fitting name that we can have. Damn, it doesn't fit. No. Oh, is this plugging too much? I don't know. There we go. I think that's about as apt a name as we can get, really. The YouTube 11. You know what? I think that has quite a nice ring to it. It's not as powerful as Saikyo 11, but then again, this is something everyone can read. Now, as I said, we can also change, like, kits and... King, fuck off. We can also change kits here. Yes, as you can see, we get the kits of the teams we defeated. Now, none of these are particularly stylish, I'd like to say. I actually quite dig the new Inazuma, or like the new Raimon kit. The old Raimon kit is cool as well. Actually, it does kind of fit most of our players, thinking about it. But then again, we have to represent the new Raimon. That's just the way it is, the way it has to be. So instead of lollygagging that much more, we will instead continue on with the final match of the first story map, of the original arc. Now, that is to say, the Raimon arc and the Alias arc. The international arc is coming up later, but for the time being, we have a decisive final match to take care of against Raimon II. So that is what we'll jump into right now. Alright, back in Inazuma Town, and we have our boy Rusty on the map screen. Let's go, finally. Things are as they should be. The true champion of this run. At least, from my point of view. But yeah, Axel is already peering at us, so let's not keep him waiting, shall we? Let's challenge Raimon II. If we beat Raimon II, we get access to the final secret player on this map. We'll be able to tie up the loose ends, and we'll be able to move on to the second map. So, I believe that should be our highest priority right now. Let's get into it. Now, as per usual, we've done all the setting up we need. I believe I've set all the different moves for the characters that are applicable. Rusty has his level 2 keeper move, Peabody is sitting tight in the goal, and I believe that's really everything we should take care of. So, quick overview of Raimon II, and I think I might actually be able to show that. I believe it was this, yes, this button. So this is Raimon II, for those of you who weren't aware, which I cannot imagine are many of you if you're watching this. But what's funny about Raimon II is that they have two distinct versions of Frost. Now, I guess it makes sense because technically there are two different versions. It's one person, two different versions, but it's still a fun little detail, I think. And as far as Raimon II is concerned, I said in the last episode that they're not that much threatening as the Dark Emperors, and I stand by that. Even though Raimon II possesses some very strong co-op moves, like Crossfire, I believe, and also things like the Phoenix, the Pegasus, and of course the Raimon co-op moves like Inazuma Drop, Inazuma Break. They all have access to those, So this might get a bit scary, but we have a reinforced goal with Peabody in it. So I believe we should be good to face this team. I think I can leave out the pep talk. I think we should just get right to the action. Alright, back at the Raimon pitch. Though actually with grass on the pitch this time. The Dark Emperors just destroyed all the grass, I suppose, last time. There we go. And that is the battle theme playing in the background. Oh, nostalgia. Alright, well, we're going to stick to our regular strategy, with just moving forward and passing to Aphrodite. There we go. I will try to show off the new moves if I can. Well, new moves singular actually. Because Rusty is the only one who got a new one. But I think we should very much be able to do so if we play this carefully. And Darren is already exhausted from catching so many stray shots. So that is good. That might help us. Once again, Gazelle is going to be at a disadvantage because Darren has Mug in the hand, which is wood element. And since the text didn't show up immediately, he will catch it. That's just the cue that you always have, and there we go. Immediately into the Rusty action. Yes, he gets pincer pinch, or big scissors in the Japanese naming. Oh, yo! Juked? Oh, but now Tori is in the way, so we'll have to wait that one out. There we go. This should be fine. This has a much higher chance of scoring than Northern Impact. No, Steve! Okay, well, he's still stopping it. I might have underestimated Darren a little bit. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give it my all. In fact, we're going to have Icer pitch in. First appearance. There we go. Good girl. Now, who is open? Not Samford, because Banyan is right there. Isu, yes, definitely. Now Samford is open. So that's good. We might be able to get a goal here. Now, I'm just going to reiterate, I'm not too scared of this team. Well, unless Axel gets to the ball, I suppose. Excuse me? Oh, he must be out of TP. At least he gets to show off the blue God Hand, right? That's something. Yeah, he was out of TP, so that is excellent pressure from us, and that is an early advantage, an early lead. Now, of course, never count Raimon out, as they say, because, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. They will fire up, and they will destroy me. Yep. Bobby, okay. Going off. I was going to say, I don't believe he has access to a co-op move. But he was just trying to get closer, I suppose. Oh, Peabody looking menacing. What? Huh? Well, they were fired up, but that doesn't make sense. Oh man, this is a rough start. This is why I said never count Raimon out. Also because I'm fairly oblivious to the power in this game still. Severely underestimating elemental advantage combined with fired up, apparently. And our forwards are already running out of juice. Oh, Icer. Okay. Don't say Sugoi, Peabody, you just let through a fucking back tornado. Now we have to amend your mistake. Wonder if he'll score actually, Steve. I don't think he will. Let's entertain the thought. Nah, no. It's whatever. Steve has done plenty already. He has served us well. And this is fine. Okay, okay. Now from closer up, surely we'll score. I think this is bound to be a goal. Hopefully, at least. Otherwise, it's going to get quite tough to get any more goals. We'll have to keep pressuring the chance here, Darren. He actually stopped it, okay. Well, that sets us back quite a bit, because that means our forwards are already almost all exhausted. I did see that the chance is out of TP, so if we can seize the opening here, that should be fine. That's perfect, actually. Unless he now gets an energy ring, he doesn't. That should be his second goal, because he can only use God Hand now. And that is at a disadvantage. In fact, he can't even use anything. So that means we're back up. The YouTube 11 is back on top. Now, the next course of action is to keep up the pressure. We have to take advantage of Darren not having anything right now. And as long as that is the case, we have to keep pelting him with shots, basically. Well, that's not great. I did forget about Maggots on head. Okay, he does have an energy ring. That is unfortunate timing. Actually, that's not even too bad. Because that means he won't have it anymore. Obviously. And I believe you actually replenish TP faster with... Oh, Rusty? Rusty? Is it time? Oh, it might be time. With that B shot. Let's go. Oh! Oh! Well, he's going to get blocked, but maybe Darren will get overconfident and try to catch it. I doubt it, but it's always a possibility. Or Jack might just straight up stop it. No, he doesn't. Goes for Magic in the hand. Okay, well, tough luck for us. But it was a valiant attempt. A valiant attempt, I dare say. He is back to no TP. So we are going to take advantage of that. And Samford actually is ready. Okay, that's excellent. I think we'll just go for an Emperor Penguin 7 here to conserve TP on the one hand. Since I believe we can actually score with this. Considering Darren has nothing. Exactly, okay. Now unless he just pops off. Excellent, that's a 3-1. And that is actually 2 goals for Samford. More useful than he's been in the rest of this run, that's for sure. And something I've been neglecting to do is actually look at the... look at the little map at the bottom of the screen. Because that actually also shows whether your keeper is powered up or not. And Bobby chooses to fire up once more. I don't see him getting much out of this. In fact, we'll send Icer out once more. Let's just stop him in his tracks, straight up. And let's... Should we do it? Yeah, why not? Do it just for fun. Darren is almost guaranteed to stop this. Oh, you coward. You don't dare face the true might of Steve. I see how it is. That is perfectly fine, Darren. Hide behind your Moog in the hand. Okay, 3-1. Feel a lot more confident now that we're actually back in the lead. Bobby just getting that stray back tornado in and actually scoring against Magic in the hand was a bit of a scare, but I think we're back on top of our game now. Luckily, 69% ball possession. Nice, very nice. And let's check up on our guys. Yeah, Samford's running low. Afrodi is getting back on it. And Gazelle... I don't think he has one more... No, that's 60 TP. Let's see what to do here. We don't have any more kickers. Well, unless we count in Victor and Ricardo, I suppose. But that would kind of be beating the entire purpose of this team composition here. So I think I'm going to skip out on switching out any players as of yet. Now, if the situation gets more dire, of course, I might consider switching out someone for Victor, but for the time being, I think I will stick with our collective squad here. Oh, there we go. That's a bit more upbeat music. I can definitely get used to this. Oh, excellent. Aphrodite's getting fired up as well. Well, that's also not what I meant to do. I meant to actually trick, but of course my input didn't come through. That's fine, we'll just burn some TP. It's actually not fine. Very unfortunate. See, I passed, didn't come out. No, Banjon. Why? It's fine. We have to give the Raimon II lads some screen time as well. They haven't done much yet. Well, this is definitely not good. If I had let Jude through there, I think he might have triggered Inazuma Break, which I don't need to tell you, would have been very bad. Oh. Okay, Kane, come on. Don't go flexing on me now. Very good, Gazelle, Speedy Man. Okay, we're close up to the goal again. But like before, I don't think we will manage to break through Mugen the Hand, sadly. Especially since he has that energy ring. Yeah. Well, it's always worth a shot. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, of course, but that does mean that Gazelle's pretty much useless. But Rusty isn't. There he is again. This guy's great, honestly. How can you not love this guy? Come on. Oh, don't. I was going to say, don't switch over to Jack and just completely destroy Steve, please. Oh, he's... okay. Maybe? Steve? Oh, no. They did him dirty, come on. He should have scored. Now, the good thing about Frost is that he doesn't have a dribble move. That's actually excellent. I don't know why it keeps occurring to me that he does have a dribble move. I don't think he has a dribble move in any of his incarnations. So maybe I'm just hallucinating. There we go. Getting in another shot with Sanford. And also, while I let this shot rip, sorry if my commentary is a bit all over the place. Today's been kind of stressful, tight schedule, things are not going right. But I'm trying my best to get by. Like, I wanted to wrap up some stuff today to actually get... Oh, amazing interception. Just walked right in front of the guy. That's not amazing. But yeah, I wanted to wrap up some stuff today. I wanted to actually release a new multi-language video today, but YouTube is acting up, of course, right as I go to actually upload the thing. So that's just my luck, I suppose. That will have to wait to another time then. No, you're not. You're not going through. But yeah, new multi-language video is coming up. It has been in the works for a long time, because I had been quite indecisive as to what to do, first of all, and then it's always a matter of communicating with the many translators, who I do very much appreciate, don't get me wrong. It's just that online communication sometimes isn't the greatest. It's a bit difficult to get a hold of people sometimes, which is perfectly fine. Everyone has their own lives, they're only volunteers after all, and I very much appreciate their efforts to help me out with these kind of things. And while I rumble on, just another rolling kick, just for fun. I don't think we're going to get much more out of this game, considering most of our forwards are actually just out of it. And please run out, so I can slide you. Oh, that was perfect timing. Illusion Ball. Ah, but we're stronger. There's that Sea God coming in, I guess. Let's see. Okay, Aphrodite is actually replenishing TP. What do you mean? They always do this. They just have the ball, but they still trigger a defensive move. I don't get it. I don't get it. That shouldn't be legal, honestly. Steve, yes. No. No. Okay. Oh, that's not great. If he triggers his co-op shot... Oh, we're putting in all the fucking... Putting in all the bloody... Oh, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Crossfire, yep, that's what I mentioned at the start. No one can block. We took out Aitor. Okay, Peabody, it's time to show your worth. It's a good thing we didn't put Shin Mag in the hand. Oh, he might break through, actually. No! Peabody, let's go! Oh, what a great keeper. I never should have doubted you. Oh, come on, Eric. Way to ruin the moment. Just copying Sound Town. Come on, man. Kinda corny. Let me show you a real defender. Yeah. Kind of, okay, well, kind of questionable sound there, but it is fine. It's rusty. And here's Nathan, who is supposedly more useful than just flurry dashing. Huh? Excuse me? Don't just do that. Oh, okay, Mark. Okay. Sure, go ahead. Megaton head from your own half of the field. It's fine. We'll just use God Hand. I love how angry Peabody looks. He just looks ready to murder a man. Which I'm not sure is positive, but I appreciate the effort he's putting. Okay, and we're coming up to the end of the match here. Mostly uneventful, I want to say, save that very surprising goal by Bobby. Never expected Bobby to be the man of the match on Raimon II's side. But that is the beauty of this game. It's unpredictable, especially in my hands, because, you know what? I'm just going to confess, half the time, I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't know if my shots are strong or weak. I don't know which move is going to win against me or against the keeper. It's all in the cards. It's all, you know, random. Like, Steve might as well have scored here. You don't know. You cannot know. But, yeah, that's what I thought. Let me just steal the ball. Injure. Injury to injury. Yes, that's how it goes. Insult to injury. That is a victory for us. 3-1. Not too shabby. I think that was a decent performance, considering this is the final boss of this map. Technically, final boss, quote-unquote. Dark Emperor is still more of a challenge, I'd like to say. Just disregard that one goal we got scored against us, right? That was a fluke. That was a fluke. But I actually think that from this, some more of our players might level up. 3, actually. Okay, and 430 points. That is great. And that is 3 players leveled up, yeah. And that means they have elevated stats. Now, this is the support thing, which is not relevant. I wanted to see them stats. There we go. B control, C and everything else, which is quite good. And then Bellatrix, oof. 3 B stats, 2 C stats. Yeah, this is excellent. This is an excellent stat line. And then finally, we have Aphrodite, who now has B kick, which is very good. Especially considering he's from one of the lower ranked teams, one of the first teams you can recruit from. And as you can see, he actually has 2 more levels to go. So he can reach S rank kick. But I believe, before we start upgrading his kick any further, it would be prudent to actually get a better version of him. Which will come in the near future, in the international arc, I believe. But yeah, that's the very nice thing about these bars. And I clicked on the spot wheel again. As they increase, they also increase the player's stats, and they sometimes unlock new moves. Now time to check out that final secret player. No victory music? Interesting. Oh, I guess this is technically victory music. We get fireworks! Oh, I totally forgot about this. Well, that's a nice little finisher, I suppose. And yeah, that will be our final reward for this map. I suppose this is the message saying we've completed the map. Oh, a key. Okay. I have to confess, I don't exactly know what that does. But I suppose we'll find out in due course. First of all, we shall grab our final reward for beating Raimon II. Who is... Oh! Ooh! Cannon Evans! Okay, that's kind of out of place. Because I think he only gets introduced in the international arc, in the Ogre Attacks games. But that is a very cool player to have. So we'll definitely try to get him. Alright, the Gatling gun, the Gatling football gun. Rossi's actually getting to it. Now, no clue how this game works. Except that you kick the balls. And you don't want to get hit in the face by them because you actually get stunned for a second. Now B is kicking, but A is diving, yes. I did recall correctly, okay. And Cannon is kind of sandbagging right now, getting hit in the back by a football, excellent. Kind of just giving us the win for free. There we go, 2 at once. God, oh no, Rusty. I'm sorry, my boy, he just got hit in the face by a football. That's possibly the most tragic way to go, honestly. Oh, Cannon. Oh, Cannon is having it rough. And I keep whiffing. Can I please hit something? Oh, 3 in a row. Can you get 25? No, 24. 24 is where it stops. That is fine. That is almost 5 times as much as Cannon. Which means Cannon will now surrender and be recruitable. Now, one other thing that kind of... Oh no, I know exactly... Yep. I was going to say, I know exactly what this is. Team Ogre. We're not done with the first map after all. I was going to say, I was surprised to see Cannon here, because in the first game, the way to get Cannon was to recruit all the marks, I believe. So to see him here on the map is a very different approach. But you need to get him in order to unlock, that makes sense, in order to unlock Ogre. Now, we won't face Ogre right away, obviously. We'll save that for the next episode, but... that's kind of a bummer, actually. I did want to get to the international arc because, obviously, my favorite character appears there, Hawkins, but... You know what? The Ogre is cool. The Ogre is cool. We'll face them. They're a good challenge. And let's actually check how many shields they have, because they are quite tough. If memory serves. Ooh, 4 shields. Yeah, we might not even be ready for this match, honestly. We might have to get some better players beforehand. You can actually move on to the second map. You can already move on to the third map if you want. But the thing is, the teams there are much stronger, so they want you to build up your team gradually by first playing through the first map. This is going to take some thinking over to decide what to do first, move on to the second map or move on to Ogre. I think, honestly, they might be a step too great for us. Anyway, that's enough rambling. We're going to return to the club room and wrap up some final things. There we are, back in the club room. And they have another tasty meal. These guys are really just... man. They're lucky. But anyway, as per my new schedule, we are recruiting another character at the end of the episode. And that is going to be... some Dark Emperor's representation. Well, technically not. Technically yes and no, because Yoshi124 recommended Shadow. But not just regular Shadow. The secret Shadow that you unlock by recruiting Dark Emperor's Shadow. Now, just to compare, look at these stats, if I can actually find the button. A is the right button, of course. C kick, C something, and then D everything else. That is pretty meh, all things considered. Now we move on to Secret Shadow, who has, well, it's actually not that much more impressive. I believe they have the same moves. I mean, they should have. Diabolical Cut and 2 times Black Dark Tornado. But yeah, Shadow is a very cool character. If I was playing through this myself, I probably would have recruited Dark Emperor's Shadow anyway. So this is actually a very welcome addition to the team. So thank you, Yoshi124, and this one goes out to you.
I can't read.
Okay, now to bring Shadow onto the team. How do we do that? Where do we put him? Well, first of all, we have to put him on the team. So we're going to take out Victor, finally. We're going to put Shadow in there. But where does he go? That is once more up to you to decide. Right now, we have a pretty solid forward section. We have Samford, we have Aphrodite, we have Gazelle, and then we have Bellatrix and Steve as kind of semi-forwards. So, all things considered, we are pretty much set on our offense. But I can imagine that you're growing weary of seeing these three always getting the goals, always getting all the glory. So, by all means, let me know who you actually want to see instead of Shadow, because in this incarnation, he actually is a forward rather than a defender. And, as per usual, if you have any recommendations on who you want to see on this team, please let me know in the comments. I read all the comments before the next episode, and yeah, I try to fulfill all of them. I now have enough points to actually keep up with most of the recommendations, but with that being said, I believe I shall wrap it up here. So, if you watched up to this point, thank you very much, as always, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.